You sleep at night, yet you wake up already tired. Not the kind of tiredness that comes from effort, but the heavy, quiet fatigue that no amount of rest seems to remove. Your body lies down, but something inside you never fully does. And slowly you begin to wonder if this exhaustion is just who you are now. In Japanese wisdom, this feeling is not a failure of discipline or a lack of sleep. It is a sign that life has slipped out of rhythm, that your days are asking more from you than your body can peacefully return. Long before modern life learned to mask fatigue with stimulation, Japanese traditions understood why rest sometimes stops working and how energy only comes back when the way you live begins to change. If you have ever felt tired even after doing everything right, this is not by accident, and by the end of this video you will understand exactly why. In Japan, when someone says they are tired, we rarely ask how many hours they slept, we ask how they've been living, because exhaustion is not always caused by a lack of rest. More often, it is caused by a lack of harmony. Modern life teaches a quiet misconception that rest is something we do after life has already drained us. Sleep becomes a repair tool, weekends become recovery zones, vacations become emergency exits. But when rest is treated as something separate from how we live, think, and move, it loses its power to restore us. This is why so many people wake up tired even after sleeping. Their bodies rested, but their inner rhythm never slowed. Their minds never truly returned home. In Japanese wisdom, energy is not consumed only by effort. It is consumed by friction between what you are doing and what your body understands as natural. When life is lived out of rhythm, no amount of sleep can undo the damage. Long before burnout had a name, Japanese culture understood something subtle. Fatigue accumulates not when you work hard, but when you live against yourself. Rest and recovery are not the same. Rest is passive, recovery is active. You can lie still for 8 hours and still wake up heavy, unfocused, and dull if the nervous system never leaves alert mode. This is why recovery does not begin at night, it begins during the day. When your days are filled with urgency, constant mental noise, and emotional suppression, the body carries that tension into sleep. The muscles may soften, but the system remains guarded. True recovery requires a life that allows the body to feel safe again. Many people live in a constant state of what Japanese tradition describes as standing while sitting. The body appears to rest, but the mind remains upright, vigilant, and defensive. They sit, but they are braced. They lie down, but they are holding. Over time, the body forgets how to fully let go. Sleep becomes another task to complete instead of a state to enter. Fatigue, in this sense, is not weakness. It is a sign that the body has forgotten softness. A rigid body resists. Soft body adapts, and resistance consumes enormous energy. Modern rest often feels empty because it is filled with stimulation. Screens, noise, content, constant input. Even relaxation is optimized and measured. But Japanese aesthetics define rest not by what you add, but by what you remove. Silence is not emptiness. Stillness is not inactivity. Slowness is not inefficiency. When nothing is allowed to fully end, the mind never digests experience. This creates a deep exhaustion that feels mental, emotional, and physical all at once. In Japanese thought, the body remembers what the mind ignores. It stores unresolved effort, suppressed emotion, and misalignment quietly. One day, it expresses this truth as fatigue. This fatigue is not an enemy. It is a message saying that something in the way you live is asking too much of you. Modern culture teaches us to override this signal with caffeine, motivation, and discipline. Japanese wisdom asks a different question. What must soften so energy can return? Energy is not fuel, it is alignment. A river does not grow tired because it flows. It becomes stagnant when blocked. In the same way, humans lose energy not because they live, but because their actions, values, and rhythms contradict one another. When life flows naturally, recovery happens continuously, not only at night. Another silent drain on energy is constant self-control, holding emotions in check, monitoring yourself, adjusting endlessly to expectations. In Japanese culture, restraint is balanced by rituals that allow release. Without release, restraint turns into inner pressure. This is why people often feel exhausted after emotionally demanding days, even if they were physically light. Fatigue is often relational, not physical. True restoration begins with a simple observation. How often does your body feel safe during the day? Safety is the foundation of recovery. A body that does not feel safe cannot rest deeply. Safety is created through rhythm, predictability, warmth, softness, and presence, not through force. Japanese wisdom teaches that energy returns not by adding more to life, but by removing what quietly drains it. Evening transitions that allow the day to end. Warmth that softens the body's center. Movements without urgency. Spaces of silence where the mind can land. Letting go of unnecessary burdens. Presence that returns attention to the body. When you stop chasing energy, it begins to return. Chasing creates tension, and tension blocks flow. Vitality comes back quietly, not as excitement, but as ease. You wake up lighter. You breathe deeper without trying. You move with less resistance. Fatigue often lingers when actions lose meaning. The body senses when effort has no inner direction. Energy returns when movement serves something honest and aligned, even if simple. Japanese wisdom does not celebrate endless capacity. It respects limits. A life without boundaries exhausts even the strongest body. Compassion, especially toward yourself, is one of the most powerful forms of restoration. Harsh inner dialogue keeps the body guarded. Gentleness allows it to relax. When life moves in rhythm instead of intensity, rest becomes natural instead of desperate. And when you allow life, nature, routine, silence to support you, the body stops bracing. True vitality does not announce itself. It returns quietly when life becomes simpler. You are not tired because something is wrong with you. You are tired because your life has been asking you to give without allowing you to fully return. Japanese wisdom does not ask you to change everything. It asks you to listen, soften, and return to rhythm. When the body learns to trust life again, rest becomes deep, sleep becomes whole, and energy stops disappearing. And slowly, without force, vitality finds its way back to you.